Welcome back to another episode of the Gimmick podcast.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tyler. So, let's go. Do you want to start it?
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't even know how to really... See, this is the thing about reading things, is that, like me, I can't remember people's names.
Gina Carano.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say some woman
an actress from
in
The
Star
Mandalorian.
Wars said something, and now she no longer is in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was going to say it, but that's not very specific.
Essentially, but it's been building up for a minute there.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Disney hasn't come out and said that, but somebody that works closely said that.
So I was actually watching this Council of Geeks. What
is that?
YouTube. It's another YouTuber, and the way that they described it was that
Is that another podcast?
No, he's just a YouTuber.
Okay.
Or they're just a YouTuber. They're another YouTuber. But what they do, a point that was made that I kind of like, and I just wanted to make sure I give credit, that I think it was a good point, was she didn't get fired for her views. She got fired because she's giving all the bad publicity. It's more about the publicity than the views. And I think that's a very good point. If you make the company look bad, they don't want you to work for them.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, Is it her fault for how people are taking it more seriously than they want it?
Well, the thing
If it's not about her views, then what does it matter?
Well, it's also
You know what it
about
is?
the bad publicity.
No. It is about her views, but they can't say that.
It's also about
that would
the
be
bad
illegal.
publicity.
It'd be illegal if they fired her over her views. Think about it. No, think about it. Legally, laws-wise, you can't just fire somebody because of their political affiliation or their views. That is literally a law. So they can't fire her for that. They have to say, oh, it's damaging to the brand.
Mm-hmm.
That is a difference. You're allowed to fire somebody if it's damaging the brand.
Which is essentially the point that they made.
Uh-huh. That's how they can get away with it. Which is you could literally say that for anything.
But there is a difference.
How is there a difference?
There's a difference in saying firing someone for their views and firing someone because it's bad publicity. You can have a hot take, but it is partially in how people react. I mean, this is capitalism.
Yeah, but how people react.
The currency is your reputation too.
How people react is based off of the culture and what side is prevalent online. Because the majority of people on Twitter that have the anger and everything for the type of topic of who people are getting angry about are the left. The people who actually have power are on the left. The right does not have much power. If you look at them try to boycott stuff, what happens?
See, my thing with that is you talk about the left like it's a monolith when it's
I'm talking about the
divided.
left. I'm talking about the left as in whenever these topics come up, the people who are angry about them, their affiliation is normally left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying all left get angry at every situation, but I'm saying the ones during those specific situations that actually have stuff happen, they're on the left. And Disney has to lean that way because those are the loud minority.
Which is interesting because I feel like Walt would be doing a fucking turn in his grave.
Really? I mean, the guy that was an anti-Semite? This is out of all the things, it's kind of hypocritical that she got fired over a comment about Jews when they were birthed in that. I was born in the Jewish hate.
See, I don't know so much about the evidence for that. Yes, he was pals with Ayn Rand, who everybody knows my opinions on her.
I mean, if you look at the animations and stuff and the racism that were in those, you know.
Warner Brothers and Fleischer and all those other animation people are doing the same bullshit.
You can't say what you're just saying right there. You can't say what you just said right there. That's not, you can't do that. Well, everybody else is doing it, so it's okay to be racist.
No. I'm saying like anti-Semitic. That's
okay.
Just okay.
Different. It doesn't matter if everybody's doing it or no one's doing it besides them. They still did it. Right.
But does that make Walt any more culpable than the others? I don't know.
Culpable?
Yeah.
Meaning what again?
Meaning, does it make Walt more
accountable?
Guilty?
More guilty?
It doesn't really.
Well, if they didn't have a history of it too, I'm just saying it's funny that's the thing that broke the camel's back.
See, and I don't
out
know
of all the things.
I don't know a ton about Walt's anti-Semitism.
And what you said, honestly, from what I've seen happen to people that get this level of like backlash is usually they say way worse shit. She compared things. No, I know what she did. She compared things.
See, what people
I kind of get what she was saying, but she said the totally wrong example.
Never
said that
here's
example.
The thing. It's not what she's saying. It's that people recognize this is a dog whistle. Whenever somebody right or fundamentalist, like, or whatever, starts comparing shit to the Holocaust, you know what that dog whistle means. They know exactly what they're doing and who they're talking to and what that message is. But then they can sit there. It's what Trump did for 4 years.
No, I get that.
I'm telling you literally to incite a riot. But guys, I didn't say that.
No.
But everybody in the know knows exactly what stand by and stand back it means.
Yes, but
they know exactly.
What is this a dog whistle for? And do you think she's that intelligent to the point that she knows?
For conservatives.
Yeah, but what's the dog whistle for this example? With her talking about the Jewish thing and being beaten and stuff in the streets.
It's basically it's this weird persecution complex that conservatives have.
What is she dog whistling? Usually dog whistle is like, from what I've gathered, is like saying
it's for the right to come and defend her.
It's their
for conservatives to come and defend her.
How people keep saying dog whistle, or because you say dog whistle a lot, you make it sound like they're using code.
Yes.
Okay, so what's this code for?
When you use a specific type of, like, when you use a specific word, what you're saying means something actually different.
What does this mean then? What is it code for?
For basically for being conservative and more right leaning. She's basically saying, hey, other conservatives, other people on the right, defend me, agree. She's basically letting them know she's one of them.
I don't know about that. She had backlash 2 months prior or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
because she kind of did some dismissive
she put it up.
Dismissive about being
I don't even know if
trans.
she got asked it. From what I saw, it was in her bio for Twitter. People who want to put he, she, whatever. She put beep, boop, bop.
Yeah,
where she had the little dashes next to them.
Which
whatever, dude.
Sounds dismissive. See, that's just it. It's that dismissiveness that clicks you in. Oh, when somebody acts like that, you're because see, okay, as a woman, I get a little bit of this same thing. Like when you're in a minority or part of a group with a little less power, you pay attention to the little nuances. You've learned to become hyper vigilant. Oh, you know that you don't press that button for the bus until the very last second. You know to not look that guy in the eye because he could try to mess with you. Or you don't want to give him any kind of reason to bother you. Wait,
what are we talking about? I just lost it. Where are we?
I'm kind of giving you an idea of like there are little things that you learn to watch for.
Wait, what did we just talk about?
We're talking about how like
I'm trying to see the connection here. We're like
so
going
the
off
connection
somewhere.
I'm making is when you're somebody who's been like dismissed, or somebody who
we're talking about the beep boop thing.
Yeah, when you recognize a certain behavior, you've learned because you've dealt with it for so long. That's what certain behaviors actually mean. When somebody says a particular thing, you know that means that they could be dangerous. You know that means that they could be hostile. You know I think part of it, that you should avoid them.
Okay. Well, what I think is happening is people getting tired. She put that I don't even know what the context is of why she put it, or if somebody actually asked her. I don't know. Some people say she was asked it and then said that as a response, but the only thing I saw from an article was that she put it in her bio, because you just see all these people that are kind of, what is it called? Where they're just trying to say stuff to make people happy or be on the good side. So they're just saying shit just to say it.
If you want to clarify, people are saying, hey,
dude, it's people clarify. Do it. People do clarify. It. There are people who don't even have to clarify. We can tell. You only clarify if you're not what everybody thinks.
You would be surprised.
Dude. What's his name from the Mandalorian himself?
There are a lot of
Pedro Pascal.
What about him?
He has it in his bio, right?
Well,
does he really need to put in his bio? Are we questioning it?
It's a way of signaling that I understand this discussion, essentially. That I
don't know if everybody understands it.
When you do it, what you're saying is that you understand and you're supportive. And so when somebody's dismissive like that, you understand, oh, you're actively hostile. You're actively dismissive, which is a thing that you do probably as a woman, and I'm sure a lot of Black people do too, and a lot of what other minority you might want to throw in there. There are little signals you learn when a guy calls you honey, or when a guy loves to talk about what a nice guy he is. You've learned what that really means. You know. So it clicks in your mind. Oh, don't even bother with this person. Steer clear from them. And that's kind of what she was doing, was telling them, oh, I'm reading what you're signaling. You're signaling that you're hostile to me.
Yes, and you could say the same thing about people who put those in their bio.
No, what they're saying is that they're trying to be
not all of them
friendly and supportive.
No. That does not mean friendly and supportive.
Why not?
I have seen. You don't use Twitter, so you don't really understand. I'm telling you, I've been on there. And a lot of people who are really aggressive on the left, you just click on their account and they literally put their pronouns in their bio. It's a constant. But what I'm saying though is that a lot of people who are actually damaging the cause are blending in by doing that shit, and it's making it look negative. And what I think's happening too, she said a lot of horrible shit. What I think's happening too is people on the right are seeing people like that and associating everybody who does it as a negative, because a lot of people come really, really strong, and they see and they account. Probably because they see people that do it a lot in their bio and other things. It's not just that, but they see those people are aggressive. They're starting to put this narrative in their mind of a certain type of person, and they're probably just attacking back by putting that shit in their bio like that. There is a part of that out there too. Well,
what you don't got to do that.
Nobody has to do anything. You should have to do what she did. She did it though.
If I were I'm putting myself in the shoes. I'm putting myself, maybe trying to put myself in the shoes of maybe a transgender person or somebody reading, or maybe someone that's non-binary or whatever. If I were to read that.
Which one? The beep, boop, beep thing?
Yes. I would be like, oh, you're hostile. You know what? Because you're being so flippant and dismissive. Okay. Now I know not to bother with you. I know with the way you're acting, not to bother. Because you are going to be just as flippant and dismissive of me as a person if I were to meet you. You're not going to be supportive or friendly, so why should I?
But Twitter's fucking toxic on both sides. You just watch reading the conversations
on stuff kind of bullshit.
It's not bullshit. I use Twitter. I see it all the fucking time on both sides. You don't use Twitter, so how can you say that I'm wrong here? I've been on there. I see both sides.
Twitter, okay.
But you don't. Do you have the Twitter app on your phone?
Yes.
When was the last time you posted on it?
I don't post much, but I read.
5 years ago.
I don't post much, but I read.
Do you read the conversations?
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit, because you would see what I see then. Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? Is that the next one? Next line? Is it? You would see that both, dude, if you can't see that there's negatives on both sides, then you're clearly just ignoring. You got to see that there are people that are bad on both sides. Yes, there could be a lot of bad on the right, but you can't be defending people on the left that are really fucking toxic. And there's a lot of people that attack for no fucking reason and don't try to have a conversation. I have met them. I have met people on the right that are horrible too. I will argue with both of those motherfuckers. They're toxic as whatever, insert said insult, but they're both there's more toxic. Well, I'm not even going to, there's sorry, I don't want to get into detail, but there is toxic on the left. You can't say there isn't.
I don't know. I just find that both sidesy thing kind of bullshit.
Why is it bullshit?
Is actively trying to hurt people and marginalize people.
Yeah, but when you
are actively doing that.
Do you not see what's going on right now? Is that when people are so shut off and aren't actually having conversations, so there's not conversations really happening on Twitter.
And this is why
it's a bunch of fucking mudslinging.
This is why I don't really bother a ton with Twitter because.
And my point, you don't though. I'm on there a lot. I'll be looking at the news because I want to know what the fuck is happening in the world. But then I'll also read what people think because I'm curious I want to know the temperature in the room for things. And I will read and I see that there is some mudslinging on the left. You can't say that there isn't. If you say that there
but
isn't.
It just feels like focusing on maybe the wrong piece right now.
But here's the thing. You got to call them out too because you can't have them doing that shit. First of all, they're putting you in the same fucking group. And you just don't want that on your side because that is bad. That is negative. People aren't going to be willing to talk to you if you have idiots like that.
I don't know.
And don't you wish the people on the right would call out the people that are extremist on the right?
Yeah, they don't because again,
because we don't call stuff out on the left.
But I don't know. I find that both sides thing a bit wishy-washy and bullshit, and then they use it to divide people. It's like those respectability politics thing. Like, I get tired of what point do you get tired of arguing the semantics of the thing?
It's not very Christian-like of you.
You keep people arguing over the little bullshit so that they're not paying attention to the big bullshit. It kind of feels like it's a distraction to some extent.
So what feels like a distraction?
The bickering on the left can sometimes feel like it's a distraction and it's petty when we need to be focusing on a bigger picture.
Exactly what I'm talking about. The left has a lot of toxic people who argue within their own side.
And I guess that's why I find I'm not really interested in calling a bunch of shit right out about this right this second, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
You can't just ignore that stuff because then people are going to call you on that.
No, I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying at what point do you start to focus on the big stuff that you want to focus on or that you need to focus on? I don't know. But during all this too, apparently Gina's now found a job with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that was an update within the last hour or so, I think.
That tells you all you need to know.
So when I saw the news, I'm like, what company is going to take the bullet on this one? Because that is a big deal.
I can't.
So soon.
If you had any doubts.
So soon. A real company? I was like, oh, we're not going to find out who this is. And then I'm like, oh, Ben Shapiro. No fucking shit. It happened so quickly. And they told everyone. If let's say if I was that company and I had the balls to try something like that, I wouldn't be announcing it right away. I'd be like, after the project is filmed or again,
it's that dog whistle thing. Ben understood the whistle.
Yeah.
You're right. right-winger conservative like me, come over to the family. You know, he knew exactly
Let me tell you what she said
seeing.
in her little, oh my fucking God, ignore, confirm your identity. Get the fuck out of here. It's like Twitter didn't want me to say it, but okay. So here we go. So she will develop and produce her own film, which is like, talk about letting the fucking asylum run everything. Like the inmates
run the asylum.
Yeah, run the asylum, because it's like, do we know if she can write? Do we know if she can produce? We know she can act, apparently, even though it's a little one dimensional. But you know, yeah, dude, they're giving her the reins, but I'm guessing because Ben Shapiro doesn't know how to fucking do anything like that. So that's the problem. The problem that the right has is that they can't fucking make media, like entertainment. And you know, it's gonna feel like those Christian films where it's like put on so goddamn heavy, or like that one book that you told me about, that guy that was like, it was like months ago. Like you were watching a YouTube video of this guy who wrote a book, and like it was like a very manly book. I think a sniper book or something.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. So it reminds me of that.
God.
The right has a very hard time coming up with something that's actually entertaining and just being that. They always gotta, like, I get the left puts political stuff in, but there's stuff that the left makes that isn't political.
Yes, but I think partially what it comes from is a lot of conservatives, and this is also like, I was watching another YouTuber, Fundy Fridays. She just did, speaking of Ben Shapiro, she just did a video and she was discussing Classically Abby. And she made a really interesting point that I really like, and also kind of ties into this Gina thing, where she was kind of talking about how conservatives have this weird persecution complex because they have bought in to these ideas that used to have all this social currency and have all this, like, it's supposed to get you so far in the world. But this world has now shifted and doesn't value those the same way they used to, and they're mad about it. The status quo has shifted without you, and you're upset about it.
Well, people in general just don't like change.
And when she said that, I was just like, oh my God. Yes. Like, as something I've tried to, this weird persecution complex that a lot of conservatives have. Just the way that she worded that was just so succinct. It was just like, yes, like that is something I've been trying to like put into words. And she just, man, Fundy Fridays is great too. She's really interesting to listen to. And she just like, just nailed it. Like that. She put it in a way I could just never quite get it. Yeah.
All right.
Ben Shapiro's trash too.
Yeah.
I can't with him. Facts don't care about your feelings. Okay, whatever.
Okay. I know you don't like him. Okay. Anyways, I want to tell you what she said. She goes, so yeah, she's going to be developing and producing. Oh, I guess not writing, developing and producing. So maybe she's not writing it. She goes, this is just the beginning. Welcome to the rebellion.
You are the status quo. There's no rebellion here. You are the status quo, bro. Like, what are you even saying? You are the majority. You are the status quo. This is not a rebellion. This is not a revolution. This is not. It's literally the way things have been for so long.
She's making a Star Wars reference.
No, I know, but a lot of conservatives, again, the little dog whistle, love to use that language.
Okay.
This is 1776.
Okay.
This is a revolution. This is so new, different, unique, blah, blah, blah. No, it's the same bullshit, and you're just mad about it. You're mad.
Okay.
Anyways,
let's rein you in here. Yeah, it was like, out of all the things she could have said, did she have to make a Star Wars reference? Like, why are you doing that, bro? Like, you're just pushing it right now. Are you trying to get sued by fucking Disney? Like, let's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
But with that, you already know it's going to be so ham-fisted with the messaging in it and stuff. And it's going to be super political. It's going to be super right.
We'll see.
Will we, though?
Oh, yeah, who knows? So
how much money does Ben Shapiro have to make a fucking movie?
Not that much.
It's going to be like straight. Here's the thing, too. Who's going to host?
But he's got investors. You'd be surprised.
But here's the thing. Who's going to host it?
You'd be surprised. Well, no, Ben Shapiro has, you didn't know this? Ben Shapiro and some of his right-wing buddies now have a streaming platform.
Yeah. Hosted by who? You know who owns most of fucking the internet? Mm-hmm. Amazon. You know who's shut down Parler? Amazon. Mm-hmm. Is Parler back yet? I don't know. They were talking about coming back. I don't think they're up yet.
This is new. They're that new movie that Run, Fight, Hide. Or Run, Hide, Fight. Sorry.
What's that?
It's this new movie that Ben Shapiro helped produce about a school shooting. Mm-hmm.
I read that. Yeah, what the fuck?
Funny. Yeah.
Wait. It's a school shooting movie.
Mm-hmm. It's like Die Hard in a school shooting with a teenage girl protagonist.
Oh, I like how they made it a girl.
I know.
You know they thought about that one. Like, who do we want to make it so nobody... If it's a chick, they can't complain. I didn't hear anything about that film until today.
Oh, I have. And you know what other thing I've heard about that movie is literally all the harassment complaints.
Wait. I got a question.
Harassment complaints.
I got a question. What gun does she use in the film?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Is it an assault rifle and people try to tell her that she can't have a gun?
No. But her dad... I feel like that's in there. But her military trained dad is outside the place with an assault rifle. Sitting out there sniping people, trying to snipe people.
Sniping people with an assault rifle?
Or something
Who are
like
they
that.
Kidding?
I don't know, but apparently the only other thing I've heard
is
about
he like
that
the trucker
movie,
type, the dad?
I don't know, but the other thing that I know about that movie too is all the harassment allegations, which again,
where's it streaming?
Again, their app, platform. Their platform.
Yeah, we'll see. They're gonna make the wrong movie one day, and it's gonna be over.
Let's see.
Because, like, all they have to do is do the wrong one and the government can shut it down. If they figure that there's, like, this is a hotbed for terrorism,
right,
then they shut that shit down. That's what I'm talking about with Parler. It's like, yeah, you may buy your own server server blades or whatever and make your own servers in a fucking building. But, you know, if the government decides that that is a threat to national security, they shut the fucking thing down.
Right.
And if, let's say you go to a different country and you do it, right? Then they're going to fucking block that website. So there's nothing you can do. They're just going to shut your shit down. So those Parler people, I'm telling you, that's the next step. If they fucking try to get it going again, they're going to be shut down. They can say free speech, but free speech doesn't cover things that are going to harm people. So
what is it with conservatives and
not understanding the Constitution?
That too. Harassment allegations as well.
Like what?
That there's a whole bunch of them from that movie.
What do you
from
mean?
The actors to the makeup artists. There's
you mean on set?
Yeah, to a bunch of different like women and people like brought up a bunch of allegations on that movie.
Could you imagine? Wait, did these people that worked on it, did they know Ben Shapiro was in charge of it and stuff?
I don't know, but I know they were getting harassed. And it was apparently like, it was made, like Austin kind of has a film scene. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of around that scene that like women knew, stay away from, I'm trying to remember this producer's name, but one of the producers and a couple of the other like head guys that were working on this thing, like the women in Austin kind of knew, avoid them at all costs. So now they're in a different spot when they're filming that. So not everybody there knows that. And so again, you've got more allegations, and these allegations just from following these head guys around. Because of course, powerful white men. rich white men. I swear. Is it the chicken or the egg?
What?
Like, is it the authority and power that these men get that makes them assholes? Or that allows them to be assholes? Or were they already assholes? Like, I swear.
Well, I think it's a mix of both. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, if you don't have the power, it's really hard to be an asshole of that level.
True.
So,
true.
I just think once you get so much power, it's so
no one's gonna
hypnotizing that you can't. You get so tempted with it and get greedy and think about what you can get away with.
Brings me to Joss Whedon, who's also been getting in trouble this week for all this same bullcrap, which isn't new. People have been saying stuff for a while.
Here's the thing.
It doesn't surprise me.
It's not just directors that do this stuff. All levels of film and positions in the film industry are very toxic. All of them. The costumers are, or whatever. Over in costume. Those people can be toxic and say horrible things too. They've done it to me. They can, and it's not just them. It's like everybody has a chip on their shoulder. They're very ice cold. There's been some nice people, but a lot of them have been in it so long. They just have like this aura of, we're not going to get fired. We know what the fuck we're doing. We're not going anywhere. And those were women, by the way. I think they can just say stuff, and the people that they're talking to, it doesn't matter because, Yeah. So what he said is not surprising. A lot of people in the industry are just bad.
It's not said, it's done.
What'd he do?
He has done.
All I read was he said stuff. He said like, are you going to abort? Not really abort. Are you going to get rid of it and stuff like that?
Well, he's created a lot of bad environments, and it doesn't surprise me.
But what are the bad environments? Things he's said.
Or actions he's taken.
What are the actions?
Or he's threatened to change something. He's threatened to there's a whole just laundry list, and it doesn't.
But those are all things he's saying though, right? So it's his what he's saying is
also his
talks.
Unprofessionalism. So I think some of it's actions.
Yeah,
too.
But how is it? But what are the actions?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, then how am I supposed to talk about it if you don't know any of them?
Well, it's just I can't think of them off the top of my head right this second.
Then they weren't that bad.
It's just I can't remember.
You can't give one example.
Second. But anyways, I wondered what happened to Charisma Carpenter.
The thing is, I haven't read
I'm hearing more of it.
anything besides him saying things that are very bad. I haven't read anything where he's done any actions, but more he said things. Are you going to get rid of it? Meaning the baby, because she was pregnant. And her getting apparently fired. And she's making the connection that it's because she was pregnant.
Charisma Carpenter was awesome, and that sucks. That drives me so nuts. And I feel and this pattern drives me so nuts. And I watched it in my life, and I've watched it in stories, and I've watched it play out in news things.
Well, stories don't stories as in ones that are made up.
Well, everywhere. It's freaking everywhere. It feels like real life, art, news, whatever. Guy does thing. Women has to fucking clean up or deal with it. I've just seen this pattern over and over. Guy does something, but it's okay. He doesn't know any better. Boys will be boys, blah, blah, blah. And she now has to deal with it. Guys wonder why girls mature faster. It's because it gets dumped on us so often.
With that same token, I've seen women do things that are very dangerous for men to deal with.
I know.
Where there'll be a guy that pisses them off and the chick will say something. And then guess who that guy is going to look at? The dude. If not,
because
he's
again,
supposed to step in to protect the woman and then he'll get fucking killed.
See, more often what I see is guy does something thoughtlessly, recklessly, and then she has to deal with it.
Yeah, and what do you think recklessly? Is it not reckless to like just go over the top towards somebody and then other guy ends up getting injured or die?
Theoretical.
This is not theoretical. This actually happens.
How often have you seen this?
What do you mean? How often have I seen it?
Like, is this a thing you see regularly?
I've seen where like a chick will be mad at a dude, say something to him, and then the other guy has to step in because she won't stop yelling at the other guy. She won't stop, won't let it down. It's like never mind. That's a horrible example. She won't stop essentially, so he has to stop it. Without getting into details with that one. But I have seen basically the scenario goes, the chick doesn't like what the guy is doing, gets all angry about it up in his face, gets real close, basically touching his face with her hands and stuff, being like, and then the guy has to come in to do this. What do you mean, what woman does this? This is a very real thing that happens. You just don't hang around those crowds is the thing.
Anyway, how often do you see this happen? Because
it happens quite a bit.
The shit I'm talking about is daily. It's a daily little.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're around that environment, it happens every day.
Me and a lot of women have.
I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying it's not.
Think about like I can.
But you're the way you bring it up and you talk about it, like it never fucking happens the other way around.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't, and I don't want to dismiss that. But the way you're saying it feels theoretical, whereas like I can literally off the top of my head think of just like 20 things, 50 things in like the last year that come to mind just personally when it comes to
but just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
No, I'm not saying.
But you said
that.
theoretically, so
I know,
meaning that you don't believe it happens.
It doesn't feel so close to you
because you're not in those crowds.
No, but I mean to you, like, I don't know. It just, like, these hit very personally for me.
And a lot more, it's with trashier people that it happens with.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
But my point being, again, like, with this dress thing is, guy does something reckless and stupid because he has never been made to know better. And now she has to handle it.
Doesn't mean that he doesn't know better.
He doesn't have to know better because no one's going to no one's gonna check him.
I think he knows better. He just doesn't because he can.
And that's the privilege I'm referring to. The fact that you're allowed to just dismiss it.
Well, that's what happens with people that get a lot of power. Do you not get that?
I know, but no, I do. I am acutely aware. Okay. Like, I am acutely aware of that. And I've watched it played out a billion times over my life between the men and women I know. He does something and now she has to deal with it because it now affects her too.
Well, anytime anybody fucking does something in a relationship that is bad,
not even just relationship,
it affects both people.
Not even just relationship.
Well, then what are you talking about?
It can be friends. It can be siblings. It can be
how does a chick have to deal with it if they're not in a relationship?
As a sister with a lot of siblings and an older brother. Who's doing the babysitting?
What does babysitting have to do with anything?
Well, I'm talking about like having to handle and deal with responsibilities and like handle things and deal with things.
But you're talking about guy does an action, it results in harming the chick.
Or just the implicit, he doesn't have to worry about this. There's an implicit, it's not his problem, it's her problem. No.
And you think your brother made you do the babysitting?
No. It's more of like, there's that expectation of, no, it's my job. Like, no one's going to expect it to be his or anyone else's. No, it's.
You didn't get paid?
No.
Then your family's just mean. My sister got paid.
My thing.
That was like one of her early jobs, like literal working jobs, was babysitting.
Yeah,
and she got to make money underage.
Yeah, mine too. At 14, you're responsible for children.
No, but I'm saying,
like, bro,
yeah, I always think that's so dumb.
I don't know any boy that's ever had to do that kind of shit.
Because
we do. We're expected to take on responsibilities. But you
also don't get the label of pedophile. There's a lot of stigma, whatever.
Stigma.
A stigma to a guy watching children. It's just what it is, especially if you look like the stereotype or you have anything that's close to the stereotype, it doesn't look good. So there's a reason.
Again, because as a woman, you're expected to be in that caretaking role. You're expected to just take on all this extra work and all this extra burden that just kind of like grinds you down. And the men I've known in my life don't have to deal with that stuff in the same way. And so I feels like I've watched this pattern happen so many times. He makes a decision, she has to deal with it. And that's what this feels like too. He made a decision and now she has to deal with the trauma from it. Like, and it just, I'm so tired of that. You know?
For every action, there's an equal and positive or negative reaction.
There's not, though.
But there is in other ways. In other ways, right? Have you never heard of guys where when they're making a decision, they gotta talk to their wife about every decision they make?
No, because I know what that's code for.
What?
That's code for I want to do it, but I want my wife to be the boss and tell me I can't.
You're the boss? What?
Thing.
No, what? No guys ever want his wife to be his boss. What the fuck? Is this a cuck you're talking about?
Ding. No, I mean like I don't want to do the thing, but I don't want to be the one to say I don't want to do the thing. So I'm gonna. That's not what I'm talking about. Her responsibility.
No. What I am talking about is like, oh, I want to buy this, but I gotta tell my wife first because she will kill me.
Well, again, because quite often we have joint finances.
Yes, so but it's also for a lot of different things too. Is like the guy always has to make sure it's okay. The wife is okay with it. That is a thing.
Again, because it's a partnership.
Okay.
You check in with your partner.
Yeah, but a lot of the times it's like even rich guys can't just make their own decisions.
Yes, they can.
No.
I'm sorry.
And if they do, you consider it a dick move.
Yeah, and that's all it gets labeled.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're labeling it a dick move. Is he not allowed to make purchases if he has lots of money?
That's not what anyone's saying.
But it is.
Well, it depends, I guess, on what the purchase is. But no one's saying he can't. No one's ever said he can't.
Well, fucking shit.
And that's the point.
No.
How many rich guys you hear talk about consulting their wives?
Like all of them.
No.
What? Yes. You know how many podcasts I listen to with guys and they talk about like whenever they bring up finances, it's always like they got to talk to their wife about it or their girlfriend.
How much do you think these people make?
They're fucking, they're millionaires. What are you talking about?
Podcasters?
Yeah, I'm talking, all of the people I listen to are like actually famous people.
Again, that's so this is
a lot of them are comedians where they are millionaires. They have over $1 million.
That is a whole different stratosphere. This is not their primary thing. This is like extracurricular activity for them.
What is?
Podcast. This is where it's not this is not their primary thing. This is their like extracurricular.
No, it's not. Especially right now. It is definitely not. Right now, podcasting is their only moneymaker. Because what stand-up comedy do you think they're doing right now? No, they haven't been able to since last year.
I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, and a lot of them actually, their main moneymaker, or a good portion of it, is in their podcast. Joe Rogan just made $200 million, or is it $100 million? I think it's $200 million for 2 years. That's $100 million a year, dude. One guy. He has a producer. I don't think he has any more than that. It's like one guy he has to pay. That's it. $200 million.
Okay.
He doesn't have to fucking do stand-up ever again. But, I mean, he's the richest example. But a lot of them have sponsors on their show. It is a legitimate source of income.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a legitimate source of income, but I know for a lot of people that you're talking about like that, it's not their only income.
But what does it have to do with anything, though? I'm talking about, like, they're doing a podcast and they're talking about this stuff.
Okay.
But I'm saying, guys, they talk about that stuff. That's a thing. They got to make sure that they don't do the wrong thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just giving you that as an example. And I'm not even just
talking finance. I'm talking about lots of different things.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's lots of different things. That's one avenue is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's the only avenue. I'm just bringing it up. You bring stuff up, I bring stuff up. That's what this is. Am I not allowed to talk?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Wait, Rachel, am I allowed to talk?
Oh my God.
I got to consult her first. I don't know if you can feel it through the screen, but she just eye rolled.
Goober.
So, what time are we at? Okay.
Ooh. So, speculations for WandaVision.
Oh man, that always comes out on the day that we're recording this.
I think Maria is already Photon.
Which one's Maria?
The woman who was in that Wanda kicked out. So I think
I got a question.
Photon.
I gotta Google this first real quick because
you noticed like they breezed right past that X-ray that they mentioned they can only see light, and you know what a photon is, yeah? It's light.
Oh,
essentially.
Thank God this is a white woman. I was gonna say, I was like, Marie reminds me of like the name Marie Antoinette.
Well, yeah.
I didn't want it to be like a black chicken. I'm supposed to know who it is.
But so
who is that? Who's Marie Antoinette, by the way? I forget.
We talked about her before. She's a 17th century queen.
Oh, that's why. That's why I've heard about her name so many times because of you.
You act like it's weird to know history.
It's weird to know a 17th century queen.
It's not. It literally changed the whole politics of France. She's the last queen of France.
I don't live in France.
Also, French Revolution.
Why do I need to know this? Why?
Because it's also intertwined with us and all of Europe. It literally got Europe into a war.
I got a question. Why do I need to know? I'm not running the government. I'm not running the government.
Because shit repeats itself.
I'm not running the government. I'm not going to be able to repeat it. I'm not going to be able to be the one that makes the actions to repeat it.
A lot of the things that happen, this all gets repeated.
You think is that going off already? Oh my gosh, we're at the 25-minute mark. So we got to wrap this up. Do you think we're going to have a president who gets his head chopped off?
No.
Or her head chopped off?
We'll see, but anyway, I want to go back.
We'll see if it happens. You never know.
I mean, they literally stormed the fucking Capitol.
Anything is possible.
So anyway,
so you gotta make this quick.
WandaVision.
It's about to cut out like last week.
What's gonna happen is we're gonna get a moment in the next episode or two. I think Maria's already Photon because they mentioned the X-ray that's just basically light, which is photon. So what I think we're going to get one of those, oh my gosh, everybody look out, kind of like big moment where you think everyone's going to get messed up. And then, the whole kind of like, oh, I can do a thing. All right. Like, I'm excited.
Is Photon white in the comics?
No.
She's
it's
actually
Maria.
black?
It is her.
Yeah.
But,
that's her name in it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I think we're going to get one of those, like, I didn't know I had powers until this stressful moment.
Yeah, the cliche.
Which is going to be interesting. So then I think what we're going to get there is it's going to be 2-on-2 or 1-on-3. I think Maria and Wanda are going to team up against the villains, which
we don't have much time left.
On the other side. Or it's Agatha, Maria, and Wanda are going to go up against the big bad. Agatha might be on the big bad side or might be on Wanda's.
All right. That's Rachel's prediction. I have no prediction because it's a really hard show to get interested in at this point.
Oh.
It's just like they keep dragging it. I just want to get to the action already.
We're
five fucking episodes in. I'm so over it.
We're
just fucking
getting
have
there.
somebody die already.
Oh, geez. Well, they already dead, technically.
No, they're not. Anyways, we will see you next week on the Gimmick Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.